Consider the exact sequence of events that follows if you stop the intake of air for exact 5 minutes. You have less time than you think. By the 3-minute mark, the brain has already begun the process of cellular death. Every inhale you take serves as a manual reset for a biological clock that is always ticking toward a lethal zero. To understand our fragility, we can simulate the halting of this reset button and observe how the human body reacts when it is stripped of its primary fuel. Human cells are high-maintenance machines that require a constant, uninterrupted flow of oxygen to maintain their internal pressure and chemical balance. Consciousness depends entirely on this fragile tether of molecules. Once it is severed, every system in the body begins a rapid, coordinated collapse. For the first few seconds, the body remains calm, unaware that the internal sensors in the carotid arteries are about to detect a plummeting fuel supply. As oxygen levels dip, the circulatory system identifies a rising concentration of waste gases in the blood, triggering an immediate emergency response. Adrenaline floods the system, forcing the heart rate to climb as the body searches for any available pocket of air. This is the onset of hypoxia, where blood cannot provide enough oxygen to satisfy your tissue's metabolic needs. As trapped carbon dioxide acidifies the blood, it creates a searing physical burning in the chest and an agonizing, desperate urge to exhale. This localized pain rapidly evolves into a state of instinctual dread that shuts down all higher reasoning. This panic is an evolutionary failsafe designed to shock the body into a desperate final attempt to find a new source of oxygen. Past the 60-second mark, the visible struggling begins to fade, replaced by a silent process of cellular starvation occurring deep within the anatomy. To protect vital organs, oxygen drains from the muscles and skin toward the chest. The brain, just 2% of body weight, rapidly consumes 20% of this remaining supply. By minute 3, ATP fuel exhausts. Ion pumps fail, causing neurons to swell and burst. Without the energy to maintain their structural integrity, the cells lose the ability to regulate their internal chemistry and cease all biological function. By the 3rd minute, the body has entered a state of internal triage, passively consuming its own failing tissues as it loses the capacity to maintain life. Entering the 5th minute, the subject enters a state of total unresponsiveness as the last functional systems of the body go dark. At this threshold, the window for medical intervention closes, and biological survival becomes a statistical improbability. On a microscopic level, the destruction is visible. The delicate pathways that store memories and process thought are physically fracturing and snapping apart. This represents a state of biological irreversibility. Once the physical architecture of the brain has been dismantled, no amount of medical technology can restart it. Even if the lungs are manually reinflated at this point, the neurological hardware has been permanently destroyed, leaving the body unable to process the incoming air. Every breath you take is the only thing maintaining the electrical integrity of your brain and preventing the physical dissolution of your consciousness. Subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden mechanics of the human body.